overcome these challenges, because challenges are going to keep coming to you at every stage. But as long as you have a good team in place and the right people around you, you're going to be just fine. You know, a lot of people don't make it in this world because of the relationships that they have, because they feel like these people are just so essential. But you have to reassess your relationships sometimes, because the very thing you may be holding on to may be the very thing that's holding you back. Yes, some people sound like they've been there before. You want me to say that again? The very thing that you're holding on to may be the very thing that's holding you back. All right. Not today. All right, let's give them all a round of applause. All right, y'all can just put that on stage for me. So I hope you all got the message. I hope you got the takeaway point. You can't go through college by yourself. You need to utilize your campus resources. I was an okay student when I was in college, but what made me really a superstar student was my ability to tap into my resources. I knew how to do that very well. Because if you knew everything, you wouldn't be in college. So you're not here because you know everything. You're here to learn. So take advantage of your resources, and besides, you're paying for them anyway, so you might as well take advantage of them. The next part I want to talk about is really important because it gets back to the very core. I told you there will be times when you'll be having challenges, and you got to get to the point where you're saying, all right, I have these challenges, but what am I getting back to? And so I want to share a quick story. The story is, before I was a professional speaker, before I did this on a full-time basis, I was an assistant dean at a college. And I would mainly work with first-year students. And these first-year students, they were great students. They were bright, articulate, talented, gifted, all these things. They did all the things. They were all the things in high school that I wish I could have been in high school. But most of these students, after 8 weeks or after the first semester, I didn't see them anymore. They would lose scholarships. They would drop out, or they couldn't handle it. And I couldn't really figure out what were the reasons. I mean, everyone had their own story, but to me, it really came down to one thing, and that is they forgot their compelling reason. They forgot why they were there. You know, when they came to college, somewhere down the road, they hung their compelling reason at the door. They left it at the door, and they never brought it with them. Now, a lot of people believe that students from other countries are much smarter than the students in the United States, and I don't really think that's true. I think the truth is they are very much aware of why they do what they do. They have their compelling reason. They have the reason in their belt. So what do I mean by compelling reason? My compelling reason for going to college in the first place was because at the time I was working at a job stuffing envelopes every day. And I hated this job. How many of you have ever had a job that you hated? Like everybody raising their hand for that one. Okay. You've lived. You've lived. Now, staff members, we're not talking about your job now, right? I just want to make sure. All right, okay. All right, okay, good. All right, because that'll be awkward, kind of like, ooh, kind of awkward. Yeah, but I hated this job. But I knew that if I just got the opportunity to do something different to improve on my life, I would never look back. And obviously, you know what the story is. I never did, but that was my compelling reason. So every time I ran into challenges or faced obstacles, I always thought about waking up at 5 in the morning to go to a job that I hated. That's what motivated me. So I'm asking you today to figure out what your compelling reason is. Turn to your neighbor and say, what's your compelling reason? I mean, don't answer it. It's a rhetorical question, but you got to know. You have to know what keeps you going. Because when you do have those challenges and when you're met with resistance, it's going to be your compelling reason that's going to get you through. I want you to say with me, when you know your when you know your why, how makes no difference. Yeah, and that basically means when you understand why you do what you do, it doesn't matter what type of obstacles you're going to face. you will become unstoppable. So get on your purpose. Because when you first were created, when you first were born, you were given more than enough to do your life assignment. And all of you in here have an assignment to accomplish. What your education is going to do is going to give you the ability to make sure that you do it right. Every now and then, you know, when I'm at home, I watch shows on television. There's one particular show that I really like, though. And I don't know if you've seen this show. It's called The Biggest Loser. By show of hands, how many of you have seen this show? All right, cool. Great show. And it's a show, for those of you who are not familiar with this, it's not a show about people that, you know, people don't like. It's actually a great show. It's a show about folks who are having trouble managing their weight. So they go on this show in order to lose the weight, but also to get motivated and encouraged. And so I was watching this show a few months ago, and they wanted to see how past contestants were doing. One particular contestant that won an entire competition just 2 years earlier, they found that he had gained all the weight back and then some. So they asked him the question and said, well, what happened? Why did you gain all the weight back? He said, because I no longer had a coach and I could not pick myself up from failure. Failure is my last point. A lot of people don't try because they are afraid of failure. A lot of people out there are so concerned with how they might look. They don't mind failing or they don't mind losing. So a lot of people out there that look good losing. Don't be one of those people. But failure, I want to say, is truly a transformative process if you decide to learn from it. When I first started community college, as my bio indicated, I failed both the math and the writing placement test. Never in my wildest dreams did I think that I'll be doing what I'm doing right now and telling this story. I was in developmental classes for 2 years, y'all. 2 years. You know how long that is when you're 18? That's a long time. Seems like forever. I can't go with my friends. I got to go to the tutoring session. But as much as of the disappointment it was at that particular time, I never allowed that disappointment to keep me from doing what I was supposed to do. Because I figured out very early, if I was going to make this work, I needed some help. And so I got help. And I also realized that failure is not permanent. It's just part of the process. I want you to say that with me, because that sounds really good. Failure is not permanent. It's just part of the process. That's all it is. So when you stumble a few times, that's not the end of the world. It's actually helping you get closer because it's information. You're figuring out what you can and cannot do. You're figuring out the best way to do it. I failed developmental class one time, and I figured out after that failure what I need to do differently. And one of those things to do differently was I need to start taking my butt to the tutorial center. LOL, I guess. I don't know. I heard somebody laugh, and I just wanted to put it LOL. Okay, all right. Not so much. Not so much. But the message I want to say is that life doesn't require you to be the best. Life requires that you try. That's what life wants of all of us. And when you try, you will see amazing things happen for you. Because guess what? You may not necessarily be able to see the top of that stair, but if you just keep walking, if you keep ascending, if you take it, even if you take baby steps, you will get to where you're meant to be because they're your blessings. And no one can take those away from you but you if you choose not to do it. I want to end with this because I think this is fitting. I need everyone just to do me a favor and just stand up for me. Yeah, just stretch it out. Just stretch it out a little bit. Yeah. Stretch. Because I know you wasn't sleeping in my presentation. I know you wasn't sleeping in my presentation. I know. All right. All right, I want you to do me a favor. Just wave your hands in the air. Wave them like you just don't care. Yeah. All right. Okay, now I want you to straighten it up for me. Did they just break out when We Are the World? That just happened. That just happened. It was on live camera too, so I'm gonna put that on YouTube. Anyway, put your hands up like this, and I want you to make a bar. A bar. I know I'm Southern, but bar. Put your hands up further, man. You're not getting arrested. Put them up high. Put them up high. Brother like this. Ain't nobody's getting arrested. But you are setting the bar for yourself. I know it's hurting. Go to the gym. You'll be all right. Way up high. Get on your tippy toes. I want to see armpits. All right. Now, you are setting the standard for yourselves. You know, I heard someone say to me one time, you got to teach people how to treat you, okay? But you got to want to be able to be respected for yourself. And you got to set standards for yourself. From this day forward, you all are going to set the standards high for yourselves because you deserve the very best. And no one is going to give that to you unless you demand it. Now, most of us have heard the Pledge of Allegiance before. I want you to put your hands on your heart. Oh, we're not doing that Pledge of Allegiance. Oh, no. Because you said the Pledge of Allegiance, but maybe you didn't say the Pledge of Allegiance to yourself. So I want you to say it with me. I pledge allegiance to myself, and to who I want to be. Because I can make my dreams come true if I believe in me. I plan to graduate college and learn the things I need to know to make the world a better place for future generations to grow. I pledge to keep my dreams alive and be all that I can be. I know I can. And that's because I pledge to be the CEO of me. Give yourselves a round of applause. Yeah. I want to end with this, ladies and gentlemen. Spirit fingers? Everybody spirit fingers. I don't even know if it's, I don't even know which way it is. I don't even, spirits, okay, got you. I want to end with this, ladies and gentlemen. We have work to do. It is not enough. It is not enough for you just to come to school, take a few classes, and say, I took some college. The expectation is for you to come here, finish strong, graduate, and impact not just your families, not just your own lives, but the world. That's the standard. That's the expectation. Because people need you more than you'll ever realize. We know what the social ills of the world are. We know what's happening here locally in Cleveland. But people are counting on all of you to be the light upon the hill, to be the people that will create positive change, because we need it. And we can't do it without you. And we need for you to pursue your life purpose, whatever that may be. In the words of Gandhi, be the change that you want to see in the world. In the words of Michael Jackson, take a look in the mirror and make that change. Thank you. It's been a pleasure, and good luck.
Thank you. Before anyone leaves, really quick, please join me again in thanking Tawan for that presentation. We do have, it is just about 1:45, so we do have a few minutes for some Q&A. But also, before we do that, first off, I'd like to thank my co-sponsors. I saw Tawan, or met Tawan at a conference earlier this year, and I thought, wow, this would be excellent, excellent for our students. And I came back and I thought about other colleagues who work with students that this would benefit. So I would greatly, greatly, greatly like to thank my colleagues from the CTC, from Minority Men's Health, and those working with the Kresge Grant, and those working with our high school and community programs. Thank you so much for your financial support, for your work in getting the students here, getting the word out. But this isn't it. This was just the first part of what Tawan has to offer to you. So after a brief Q&A, we'll have some refreshments in the lobby, and Tawan will be available to sign his books. But I also, would you please tell them before we take the first question, so if anyone has a question, can you come over to the stairs here? And while we're doing that, would you please tell them about the website and all that entails?
All right. Well, the name of the website that everyone in here I would like for you to sign up for is called finishcollegeontime.com. finishcollegeontime.com. Now, if you have your smartphones out, go ahead and pull them out right now. Click them on. I'm going to also give you a keyword, and the word is finish. You want to text that word to 50500. Text finish to 50500. So in case you misplace maybe some of the papers you're writing on, you'll always have it. You'll get sent a text message. By the way, there's no charges for this text message. So I know y'all about to ask me, well, how much is it going to be? And it's free, okay? This ain't Hope for Haiti. What? Yeah, I thought it was funny too. I did. It's finish, text finish, F-I-N-I-S-H, finish, to 50500. Or you can just go to the website. The website is finishcollegeontime.com. If you go there, you'll get a free book just for signing up. And then after that, you'll get a series of emails from me with college tips on how to connect with your professors, how to get higher grades, how to get academic scholarships. It's a great resource. So that's finishcollegeontime.com. Got it? All right. You're welcome. Thank you.